Washington and Brussels built their defense of Israel on robust internal oversight, but oversight just got arrested, didn't it? So worm your way out of that one now. The legal firewall keeping the ICC at bay is crumbling line by line, warrant by warrant. You can almost hear the lawyers in The Hague marking her name as corroboration now. According to media reports, officers inside Israel's legal corps have begun conveying decisions verbally instead of recording them, a change triggered by the Steve Taman leak. Military lawyers said the episode sent shockwaves through the corps. In practice, the institution that once sold moral superiority through self-investigation now behaves like one afraid of its own paperwork, guarding not legality, but deniability. The political culture turns the screw even more. National security has become a religion with one commandment: thou shalt not embarrass the army. Everything else, journalism, law, conscience, is all subordinate. Israeli commentators on several domestic channels even suggested she should have been kept under supervision to prevent further leaks, describing it as protection. Protection for the state, not for her, of course. Many high-ranking figures don't want her to open her mouth, the anchor said. No outrage followed that. In Israel, that kind of statement passes for normal. Abuse of Palestinians can still be managed through the usual euphemisms, though. Irregularities, disciplinary measures, isolated incident. But a senior officer defying the gag is something else. It shows the machine is cracking from the inside. Her confession turned a human rights allegation into legal fact. That's why the reaction had to be swift, had to be public and punishing. The leak threatened the currency Israel trades in, moral legitimacy. Without it, every ally's defence falls apart. At the disciplinary level and at the diplomatic level, that's already happening. The ICC can now argue that Israel's military justice system isn't independent. The argument writes itself, doesn't it? When the head of the system is prosecuted for exposing abuse, there can clearly be no internal remedy for that. The jurisdiction door opens. Israel's allies know it, which is why their statements have shrunk to murmurs. They can't afford to acknowledge what this looks like. A democratic partner under stress, that's how they'll phrase it until the headlines move on. But the files will stay open. At home, the case deepens the rot. Legality in Israel now operates like a broadcast for foreign consumption. Every inquiry is staged for optics, every minor conviction offered as proof that the system still functions. But the facade has cracked. Tomer Yerushalmi exposed the gap between what Israel tells the world and what it does in the dark. The few Israelis who still believe the law can mean something are watching institutions that no longer believe it themselves.